How's it going today? It's 16th of August, Friday, and we're taking a look at the market. What kind of press releases we're gonna be taking a look at today? Most likely, we're gonna be taking a look at, and we're covering three different press releases. That will be very important. And today is Friday. Not necessarily. Usually, I'm trying to keep it light and interesting and all those kind of things, right? But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at very important areas, starting with new appointments, the biometrics. Can take a look at definition for biometrics, how to do fingerprint recognition, facial recognition, iris recognition, voice recognition, time scanning, hand geo geometry. So it would be in addition to fingerprints, perhaps you can scan your bones, all those kind of things, right? Vein pattern recognition, or even harder, I guess, behavior biometrics, even those interesting. And the next one would be biometrics and forensics ethics group, right? So potentially what information has been collected, as well as how this information has been used. Recently, when riots have started in UK, there was a person who have handed his notice to the work, right? I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that's something that we have covered already, as well as there might be new appointments. And we were taking a look at how many cameras are in UK compared to the rest of the world. UK is at third place, right? So potentially how much information is being collected in UK. I would say it's a lot of information, and as well as, so once all this information has been collected, so now we would have necessary steps that the government needs to take. That will be ethics. To how is information going to be used potentially against those people, right? Who are going to be handing out all this information to different businesses and or perhaps government, right? And we have a new appointment, 36 people appointed, and they would oversee this area, how this information is going to be used. We can take a look at some of those examples. This is something that will be done, and then we're taking a look at a number of cameras. How China will be the first place, and how we're taking care of this particular area where they have social credit system, and how much data they are collecting, and how that data can be used against people in social credit system, right? That is just an example. Let's progress to the next article, right? The next article we're going to be taking a look at that would be councillor appointments. There's a name there, let's keep names, a member of a monetary policy committee. Monetary is since inflation is increasing, as well as other reasons why perhaps some of those government institutions needs more money, so they would print money, but potentially it's not backed by anything. Inflation is increasing, and they might need reinforcements, right? We're having more people to advise potentially people who need more money, so we would print more and value would drop. Perhaps some other additional measures can be taken to address that than managing, in this case, some of the government institutions, and how money won't lose its value that fast, I guess. That would be monetary policy committee, right? So great. So if you need, I would say perhaps you should consider hiring more people to advise policymakers and all those institutions, not just one person. Perhaps they need whole group of people, right? If it's important, they should at least consider hiring more, right? Let's progress to the next letter, right? Perhaps I can delve a little bit deeper, but not necessarily I would like to spend too much time on this. But actually, about MPC has operational independence for monetary policy. I don't think it's true. When it comes to independence, I think they would hire a person who was within the industry to begin with. So independence, when offering advice, perhaps that's independent, right? It's comprised of the governor of the Bank of England, three deputy governors, the Bank of England's chief economic and four external members who are appointed to a councillor may serve up to 2 3-year terms on MPC, right? So that would be overall structure, as well as that would be perhaps the only people who are able to make decisions, right, when it comes to decision making for operations and overall monetary policy, right? The appointments of external members of MPC is designed to ensure that the committee benefits from thinking and expertise in addition to the gain inside the bank. Yeah, exactly. So it's not really so that's what I meant. Either way, let's progress. Each member of the MPC has expertise in the field of economics. They are independent. I don't know about independent, but okay. And do not represent particular groups of areas, right? So perhaps they do not represent special interest people or private banking. On the surface, usually it looks like that, but sometimes they can own some shares in a lot of companies, all this kind of thing. So there's more to it, right? So this is what they're saying, by the way. It's not what I'm saying. That's the difference, right? Perhaps some of those members do own a lot of businesses, all these kind of things, right? Let's take a look at next article on our letter. It's something that was in the newspapers about 2 days ago or so, right? I was trying to find this article, I didn't manage to find it, but now we can take a look at the letter. Something perhaps that was published some time ago, but last updated 15th of August after the American Commission to review IT and engineering sector. And potentially, since we were taking a look at education and STEAM professionals, right? So STEAM, that would be IT and engineering, right? So let's read this letter and let's try to understand what's happening, since most likely there will be less people traveling and entering some of the subjects, as well as the government perhaps did that on purpose, so that means it didn't happen by mistake. It was done slowly all the time, and there's a lot of things happening, right? So let's read this letter and see what we can find. I don't know how much time we have a letter. I don't know. I'll try to perhaps keep some information. I don't know if it really be all information might be important, and the way how a letter might be written might be on purpose, right? So it would be presented in a very particular way. I'm not looking to misrepresent this person, so perhaps we can, by beginning with this letter, we can skip some names to begin with, right? And the reason of myself, I'm looking to understand is if there would be a hiring process for these two areas. I think that's something where government is taking a look at. That's really IT professionals and engineering professionals. I would need to understand these areas for myself. That's the reason why I haven't read this letter. I have read some news articles, right? But yeah, anyway, so that really I would like to recognize and thank for a vital role of bank has played in providing sound, evidence-based advice to successful government since it was established in 2007. So if it was completed, then there might be a lot of research done, and there might be, while research was undergoing, perhaps there was a lot of things happening in the background, and this person is looking most likely to acknowledge that. So if there's a lot of research being done, it's always good, right? So then let's delve deeper after the overall introduction, I guess, and from there we can delve deeper, right? The government is committed to bringing down the high levels of migration. We recognize remain very grateful for contribution of people from all over the world and what they do to our economy and our public services, but the system needs to be managed and controlled. The current high levels of international recruitment reflect weakness of the labor market, including persistent skill shortage in UK. So currently, it's already an existing problem, perhaps for many businesses. And they're looking to hire IT and or cyber. Let's say if you have a business and you're looking to hire someone who understands cybersecurity, you would need to go to a marketplace and hire this professional, and you won't be able to find it. And it's been recognized, and they have carried out research since 2007, right? And that would be department for migration advisory committee, right? So it's been recognized, great. The current approach is not suitable and or sustainable, and our system is in existence is not operating in a national interest. The government will deliver a fair, coherent, more joined up approach to the labor market by linking migration with a skill policy, right? Okay. So this is what this person is saying, and I'm just reading this person's words, right? Not necessarily agree or disagree with everything what he's saying, but perhaps since there might be investigation carried out, all these kind of things, right? As part of the Migration Advisory Committee, the newly formed Skills England, with the responsibility to identify skill gaps across the labor market, and the Industrial Strategy Council, together with input from DVP, will work closely to develop more structured and evidence-based approach to the labor market. These bodies will collect and or compare data and or evidence they hold and meet the quarterly basis to use this data to diagnose which sectors are facing significant labor shortages and the reason why. It's something to put things into perspective. They were giving a lot of visas potentially for people to enter and work in when it comes to produce, so that would be potentially vegetable markets and during season. So there was a number of visas as well as there was a number of visas given to people who are interested in entering poultry market, right? And we're currently taking a look at our governments, what the government going to do when it comes to IT and engineering sectors, right? And perhaps a similar process they're looking to adapt to those particular sectors, right? Report to Minister, which will work in tandem with industry and our sector bodies as appropriate to take forward plans to address labor skills shortages key sectors. Let's add it on. More control, perhaps it's something that the government is looking to introduce, as well as where those professionals are being sourced from, as well as there's a massive demand for those particular professionals. So if there's a massive demand by different businesses, and government gonna be looking to control these markets even more compared to what they're doing right now, huh? So far we have covered the problem. Problem would be massive influx of people, I guess. We covered what government plans is, and government is looking to control what those people will be doing. And from there, we're progressing potentially, and the way how this letter will be structured to inform this work and writing to a MAC, looking to give occupations to understand the reasons behind the reliance on international recruitment based on primary look at indicators to information assessment of reliance of international recruitment, as well as occupational groups, which are largest users of work visas. We have identified the following occupations groups to review: information technology and telecommunications professionals. I don't know the reasoning. The reasoning is completely different. I don't know what reason this person was referring to. I think reason is completely different, as well as engineering professionals, right? So those two groups potentially would need to undergo additional approval from the government before people would be able to work in these sectors, right? These sectors feature the top 10 of those sectors who have relied on the international recruitment, and the government will like the MAC to set out the new reasons behind and or potential future demand of these sectors. So demand would only increase, right? So if, we understand that these people know the demand will only increase. So demand will increase, and they're looking to introduce additional measures. I don't know, but it's great, I guess. It's great. It's government, right? And it's in top 10, and UK is falling from top 10, by the way, when it comes to manufacturing. So I don't know what it will lead to. But myself and other business people, we need to take a look at what government is doing, I guess. When envisioned this being a first of such reviews by the MAC as we seek to further understand the reliance of international workers in key sectors, the MAC should consider but not limited by potentially the following potential areas include what type of roles are in shortage. So they're looking to take a look at the market, I guess. Then considering, right, so if we're taking a look at civil engineers, right, and those civil engineers need to build something, and if you are looking for competitive prices, if you're coming into this from business perspective, you can find an outsourced professionals, right? You can find those based on how many different expertise, and that expertise sometimes you need someone who's been within the industry for 5 to 10 years, and the government is looking into potentially 9.5 million of people who currently economically inactive, and introduce additional measures to get those people active again, economically active. I don't know, but the government is doing something. It's always good. There's a committee and people are working. That's always good. But the difference, diverse those shortages include training, pay, and conditions. Okay, okay. So the government gonna do investigation, right? It's always good. How the sector is sought to respond to adapt to the shortages beyond seeking recruit from overseas. Okay, okay. Most of the people that way, okay, so to address most likely all these questions will be uh, pay, right? People working for to earn money. So businesses looking to make profit. So government is looking to do investigation. Let me save some time, right? It's pay. How much people are getting paid? Where relevant, what if any impact has been has begin on the shortage occupations list had on these sectors occupations, right? So they already knew its occupations, and they already knew demands, all these kind of things. They already knew it, and they going into this asking all these questions and looking to carry out investigation. What policy levers within the immigration system could be used for more effectively to incentivize sectors to focus on the recruitment from domestic workers? This could include whenever the immigration salary list should remain in its current form, right? I don't know. I don't know. This is what government is doing. I'm not. If I can, I would rather stay neutral, right? This is what government is doing, and this is some of these people who are getting paid to do investigations, and this is potentially a proposition to the government how we're looking to address some of these issues, right? If currently pool of professional is too small, so if they only have 200 candidates, they need to increase to 10,000 or so, right? And this is an investigation that they're looking to carry out to increase those numbers, which is great. Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.